Hi there, my name is David Kille. I'm from the University of Waterloo, and I'm going to be presenting my research here at APS's 25th annual convention here in Washington, D.C. So what my research did is look at the extent to which people incorporate modern families, which we define as either parents who are same-sex or interracial families, so a mother and a father of different ethnicities, as well as having mixed-race children. And what we wanted to do in our first two studies was look at how people categorize these families. First, we just flashed photos of either traditional or modern families, and we asked people how family-like do these photos appear. And what we found was that people tended to rate modern families as much less family-like compared to their traditional counterparts. They also rated them as less loving, and these scores were correlated. And so in our next study, what we wanted to do was look at how easily people incorporated modern versus traditional families into the family category. So the way that we did this was we had people categorize as quickly and as accurately as possible whether or not the photos from study one were in fact families. And what we found was that people were much slower to correctly categorize the modern families compared with the traditional families. So again, this suggests that people have difficulty incorporating modern families into the overarching category of family. So in our third and fourth studies, what we did was we assessed the evaluative dimension of how people perceive these families. And basically what we did was we manipulated whether participants saw a modern or a traditional family, and we also manipulated whether people had an excuse to discriminate against the family. So in study 3, we told some participants that the teenage daughter of a modern or traditional family was pregnant, whereas others did not learn this information. And in study 4, we manipulated whether the family seemed caring or uncaring, as well as whether the family was modern or traditional. And what we found across studies 3 and 4 was basically that when people didn't have any excuse to discriminate against the family, we see equal evaluations regardless of condition. But when we tell people that there's some sort of excuse to discriminate against modern families or traditional families, then we see lower evaluations of the modern families, but not the traditional families. So what the research basically suggests is that people are holding them to a higher standard, or in other words, they're evaluating them less positively for enacting the exact same behavior. So thank you very much.